Xi's military parade as a global PR show. China's Xi staged a massive military parade in Beijing that was much about television optics as about national pride. Fighter jets, missiles, balloons, doves, and perfectly synchronized troops filled Tiananmen Square, while Putin and Kim Jong-un sat by Xi's side for the cameras. Every detail was crafted for global messaging. The Mao-style suit, the vintage red flag limousine, the call and response chants of "Follow the party, fight to win," and the release of 80,000 pigeons and balloons. International media, from Reuters to the BBC, ran the pictures she wanted. China as unstoppable, disciplined, and flanked by allies hostile to U.S. power. From a communication standpoint, this was hard and soft power blended into one, a domestic rally, a foreign policy statement, and a perfectly packaged television event. Okay, so what's the real message here? China has arrived. It is on the world stage. It sees itself not just as a power or a superpower, but it sees itself as the preeminent superpower in the world. It no longer wants to take a backseat to the United States or anyone else. It understands its own way of authoritarian style capitalism, but it also understands PR in the modern world of how presidents do it, how Trump does it, how everyone else does it. It understands the power of the big spectacle, and it's announcing to everyone, we are here and we are real. Let's dig a little bit deeper here. I was fascinated to the extent of their crafting of every message, every image, clearly playing to the TV cameras. 80 cannon blast. This was designed to note 80 years since the end of the war, and 80,000 balloons, 80,000 doves, all designed to really focus on the symbolism. You had Putin there. You had the dictator of North Korea. You had Iran's leaders. You had all the people who basically hate the United States. And these days, some with good reason, everyone's there saying, hey, we're powerful. We are aligned with these guys, with this military might. And it was a very unifying message for the anti-Western part of the world. There didn't seem to be any dissent because it was snuffed down quickly for anyone who dared. And it was overall a huge, huge PR success for the Chinese. We live in a world now where increasingly world leaders want to spend their time on the world stage, meaning on a stage in front of TV cameras. And this was a spectacular TV extravaganza, vast, huge, wide. And Trump was clearly jealous of this. He posted a bunch of petulant tweets and social media messages afterwards, talking about how all these leaders are there conspiring against the United States. Well, maybe they were, perhaps with good reason. So what's the real lesson here? No matter how many weapons you have, there's always hard power, actual soldiers, actual bullets that anyone might have, literally or figuratively sometimes. But there's also the soft power, the ability to show this, the ability to put it on TV, the ability to get people to look at it and go, oh, wow. And that is a part of power. And I want you to think about this, not because you're planning on becoming an authoritarian dictator, at least I hope not. As far as I know, we have no viewers in the White House or any other dictator palaces around the world. But the real lesson is give some thought to how you project power in the world. You might not have the ability to show 80,000 balloons or have 80 cannon blasts or have thousands of people goose-stepping along in formation to buttress who you are. But it comes down to just symbolism and imagery you have on your own website, for example. How you dress, how you look, how you speak. People are judging you. How you come across in social media. Do you even come across in social media? We're getting quickly to the point where it's simply not going to be enough to be a young entrepreneur, for example, or an old entrepreneur and say, oh, I'm not big on social media. If you're not big on social media, you don't exist. That is going to be, I think, the new mantra of venture capitalists, other investors looking to put money into your company. You're going to have to show your powers. Now, I'm essentially trying to do that here. I've got a set, I've got nice lights, I would be much more comfortable wearing a t-shirt and shorts since I am here in Florida and it's hot, but I take the time to put on a business suit, the time to shave. I took the time to put on some makeup because I do want to project authority to you. Now, you might not think I have any authority. That's okay, but at least some of the viewers do. The authority I do have is from my own experience. I've spent 40 years working with business executives on how to communicate effectively. I've spent 40 years working with Wall Street wizards, billionaire fund managers, presidents of countries, prime ministers, Nobel Peace Prize winners, professional athletes, Miss Universes, how to communicate effectively on TV, through the media, and to live audiences. So that's what I'm doing right here as well on this show. And again, those of you joining us for the first time, and since this is the debut show, whether you're watching it or listening to it on a podcast platform, we come to you every single day dissecting top stories through this communication lens. And if you go to episode 2 or 3, we recorded it in advance, you can find out more about my particular background and why you may or may not determine that I have authority. But that's what we're doing here in this first week of our official show. So you may want to tune into that. I would absolutely love you forever if you did give a review of the show right away on any podcasting platform, subscribe, like, sign up for notifications. It would be a great thing. Now, we try to do things a little differently here. This is not a multi-billion-dollar TV operation out of New York City. We're not super fancy. We don't have all the bells and whistles of giant TV networks, but I do try to bring an element of professionalism. Those of you watching may have just noticed, there's 3 cameras here. We're trying to give you a little added perspective, a little bit of professionalism so that you actually want to pay attention. So that's what we're here doing. I really appreciate your time today.